as much as she's asking for their talent and their effort. And I feel like every time we work with her, we always feel seen, we always feel heard. To do a radio show like this, who do you know as a promoter would put on their artists on a radio show? Yes, to promote their show, but also to have the audience coming be familiarized with the artist.
Exactly.
You know? So it's just really great being able to be a part of such a team that is woven into the industry just as much as the artists are, even though they're doing much of the business and logistics sides. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on the why we're doing the show, what the show's about.
So yeah, I agree with everything Matt has said. Why this show is great, The Hang basically encompasses the 90s, which is a time where most of us were either being born or growing up. So we interacted with that music, and that music was great. We have great music today, but we need to remember where we came from. Yeah, so that's what makes this gig really amazing. So we just all come together and celebrate the music that made us the artists that we are. I mean, some of us were jamming to Beyonce's and Shakira's and J-Lo's while in our primary classrooms and that kind of thing. So this gig is really, really, really big for me because it's like, this is me remembering my dream of being a musician when I was young. This is me holding a toothbrush and belting to Beyonce, and I get to do it on stage tomorrow. So it's a really, really awesome.
So I'm curious, and a lot of people are listening, so we want to know, okay, so are you guys going to be doing like renditions of 90s songs? Like, what's the production like? Because I grew up seeing you sing in church, so like I've also seen you guys sing, like you make different, like everybody's so diverse in this whole, so is it like a production of specific 90s songs, or what's the production like?
So we do have a bit of everything, and I like that you've spoken about church because, I mean, you have some Mary in there.
Yes.
We're not selling everything because you need to come to the show. But we do have a bit of everything. There's some rock in there. You know, there's some Kenyan classics from those days. You know, we're talking Isa, we're talking Amani, we're talking Wahoo. So it's a little bit of everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
How do you guys get everybody part? Like, you guys have such a big like lineup. How do you guys get everybody to be there? Like on, like, you know, it's so many people, like so many moving pieces. How does that work?
June does the magic.
Okay.
I mean, June really does the magic. But it's also a lot about just being prepared and being organized in terms of how you schedule the rehearsals, for instance. So we just have a way where we make it work, where everyone has their particular slots, and the band also has like their own slots, and the band starts rehearsing by themselves first, then the singers come in later, then we bring everything together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking for music out. I saw you have a new song out called Quick Fix. Tell us about that record. And it's been since 2020, so that's a huge gap. Are you looking to release more singles? What I love Quick Fix and the sound. It's very different. It doesn't sound like anything out right now, but I guess is that the sound you're making, and like, are you releasing any more music?
I think what I'll say is, in terms of sound, I'm putting a lot of different things together. I think when I first started making music, I was coming from a place where I had been working with people that knew what they wanted. So I did a lot of house, I did a lot of gospel. Coming into my own around 2019, 2020, I was really searching for myself. And so Twende Kazi came out in the Remy EP, and that was very Afro-pop and all that goodness, a little bit of rock in there because it was like, this is what's like known here. And then COVID hit, and in the turmoil of that, I was just like, let me write, let me use this time to put music together. And I wrote a lot, and Quick Fix was one of the first songs that I wrote. And I wouldn't say that it is the sound that I'm going for. I think it's the sound that I experimented with and I enjoyed myself doing. And that's why it came out before everything else.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to put out some new stuff. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be dropping a single if everything comes together.
Okay.
But yeah, outside of that, I guess I'm just saying wait and see.
So a very random question. The cover art for the Quick Fix, as well as like the pictures, look like almost under construction. I'm fixing something. Is it like intentional, or like why that theme? I guess with.
All right. So with the cover art, I had just moved into a space that my parents were loaning out to me, and it was a beautiful room. The sun came in perfectly, like just magical in the afternoon, and I had just finished painting the walls, and I did a little like self-portrait photo shoot in there. And I brought a ladder out, the same ladder that I was using to reach the roof and all this. And then, I was still wearing the shirt and the pants that I used to paint the room.
Mm-hmm.
And I sat on the ladder, set the timer on the camera, and I just started taking some shots. And then I started taking like long exposure shots. And that's what gives the effect when you're moving. It gives it a blurred effect because of how much exposure. Okay, now we're talking about photoscience. But yeah. And so it was very impromptu, me going back to my photo albums and being like, let me use this specific cover for this photo for the cover of Quick Fix, because it was in a time in my life where I was just trying out a lot of new things, fixing a lot of things in my life. And I was like, I feel like these go hand in hand. And it also just feels very sporadic, like from the verse being very to then being like in the pre-chorus where it just opens up and it's like that big sound. I feel like the photo is very calm, but then my face is like all over the place, and I think it sort of gives the song an identity when you're listening to it and looking at the photo.
Okay. Yeah. Kendi, I have a question for you.
Yep.
You're an amazing performer.
Thank you.
See you do so many different performances, even done theater, and gone to like New York and done amazing, crazy things. I guess how would you kind of place yourself in terms like, are you a performing artist? Are you a recording artist? Like for you, what's your relationship with music?
That's a good question. I'd lean more towards the performing artist side, typically because I don't have my own music out yet. But yes, I like to say that my voice has been out in many different places. I have recorded with some of my friends who are artists or on people's records, so to speak, whether beaving or collaborating, that kind of thing. So I think that's where I'd place myself. I enjoy live performance. I enjoy feeding off energy of the people I'm singing to or singing for. Yeah. So that's what I'd say.
Do you write songs?
I do.
What do they sound like? Like, what would your music, I guess, what would it sound like?
Passionate is how I'd describe my music. I do have a song called Nyumbani, which is I'm happy to see the Kenyan flags around here. It's basically a patriotic song, which is basically just a song I wrote when I was really, really, and still am, desperate for this country to make sense, especially for us young people.
Explain what that means.
For our dreams to make sense. You know, I'd give you a typical story of how I was in school and my teacher would ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? And there's neurosurgeons, there's doctors, there's
lawyers, pilots.
Exactly. And then there's me who's musician and I'm shut down and I'm told that's not a career. Yeah. So come back tomorrow and let me know what you want to be when you grow up. So that's what that song really was about. Like, I want to feel that I don't have to run away. I don't have to run abroad for my dreams to make sense or for my dreams to come true. I don't want to be in this country and feel like I'm not home. Yeah. So it's just encouraging people to embrace Kenya as home and to play their part, because that's what makes this place home.
So when you fill out like a form, whether it's at the bank or immigration, and it's like occupation, what do you put?
I do performing artist.
For real?
Yep.
Come on.
And like confidently, like which has like...
You should.
I mean, we have to be proud of what we're doing, because if we're not, then who will?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to know from you guys, what can people expect from the hang? I think like tickets are 80% sold. Like, are there any more tickets even left?
So guys need to get mine.
I don't think there's many tickets left.
Before we go in the group and we're told, so guys, share out this poster. Yeah.
So I know there's a few tickets left. I know you guys have sold a lot of tickets, but what can people expect from the event tomorrow? But then also from you guys individually, like, we're looking forward to the event. But then what can people expect from Matt? What can people expect from Kendi?
From me, I think expect that good old soul singing sweet tunes. But yeah, I'm gonna really try to give my all. I think this is one of those shows that I'm just really proud to be a part of. It's really out of my comfort zone because 2000s and 90s songs, I wasn't really raised on those. I was raised on like Casting Crowns and
I mean,
Paramore.
still bangers though.
Yeah, right.
Still bangers though.
Yeah, so this has been it's been a huge learning curve for me. And also just R&B and back in the day, men being like, "Ooh," and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I think expect something new.
So we're like with Twa, like they had like duets, they had like group, like they also had like solo performances. So like with this 90s thing, is it also like groups performing like 90s song, like? So is it like duet? You can't give us everything. You can't give us all the tea, but
For that, just come and find out.
You need to come to the show.
Come and find out.
How much are tickets for people who want to go?
So the advance tickets, of which we have very few left, are 3,000.
3,000.
Some gate tickets at 3,500.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be tomorrow where?
Tomorrow at the Waterfront Mall in Karen.
Okay.
Yes.
What time should people start showing up? What time is it ending?
Gates open at 6.
Yeah, gates open at
The
6.
show
Okay.
starts at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So show starts at 7. Is it till morning or does it end?
It does end, but what we can guarantee is you wouldn't want it to end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, you don't have to go home. You can stay there.
I mean, that's why we have DJ Adrian and PNA who are ready to bring the house.
Art in Motion's also gonna be there.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I've been. I'm like, okay.
Yes,
And
that's
dancers on the lineup. I'm like, okay. What does this mean? Is that like?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
It means it's a big show. Like, expect mad fun, expect nostalgia. I mean, guys are ready with their dress code,
Check
so
it
come
out.
dressed in your 90s attire.
Please do.
And it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Okay.
A lot of fun. Yeah.
Dope.
The FOMO is gonna
It's
be
exciting.
Yep.
It sounds
I
exciting.
By the way, the
I am
phone's
gonna
real.
be the one with FOMO. I'm just like, yo,
Why though? You need to come.
girl, I'm sure.
No, that's super cool. We're super glad we had you guys on. I know you guys had technical rehearsals. It's like, are they gonna make it? And then we're supposed to have you the other morning, but then we didn't confirm. So it's like a morning thing.
I was ready.
No. It was,
By 6:30 a.m.
yeah, it's like that's super early, but like it worked out. So I'm glad that both of you guys were able to come through. We had Nina last night as well as Manasseh.
Yeah.
So we gave out tickets yesterday. Should we give out tickets today?
Why not? And let's start with
Please.
Are you really gonna?
Iyanah gets a
God.
ticket.
I
Okay.
do?
Yeah.
That's the best day of my life.
So Iyanah's gonna be going to check this out. You're gonna go though. Like if you give me the ticket, you have to
If you
go.
give me a ticket, I'm like gonna
Okay.
be like vlogging the
Say
whole
less.
day. What are you talking
Say
about?
less. Okay, I'm getting your details, and you're gonna get a ticket.
Guys, my liver season is already doing it for me. Thank you.
I'll
Love
be the
it.
best, Iyanah.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be front row, like screaming lyrics at you all now.
Yes.
So if
You've
you
created
guys
a monster.
don't know, we only play Kenyan music on here. So when you guys said there's also gonna be like the 90s or the throwback Kenyan music, that kind of touched my heart. I was like, that's dope. Like Kenyan music, as you guys are all Kenyan artists,
Yeah.
but you've not forgotten the whole aspect of Kenyan music in this production.
For sure.
Okay. You guys being talented and as amazing as you guys are, who do you guys look up to in terms of Kenyan music? June excluded.
I know, 'cause, like June is just.
June, yeah, goat. June's the goat, but like, who do you guys look up to?
All right. I looked up to a lot of my friends right now.
Okay.
Lisa, Manasseh,
That's dope.
Kendi,
Yes.
Karu.
She's on the lineup too.
Yeah, she's on the lineup too.
Yep.
Tattoo as well.
Shout out Tattoo.
Yeah.
Okay.
The close people that I'm able to have a relationship with and learn from. I'm just like, yo, I'm holding you close. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Kendi?
Pretty much similar to Matt. June, you can't exclude June. I'm sorry.
I tried.
Definitely. We have Lisa Odornoa,
Amazing.
amazing singer. I mean, one of Kenya's best.
Yeah.
To be honest. Matt, you stole my list.
I'm sorry.
I have tattoo on my list as well. Let's see. I should have thought about this question for today. Because I'll go home and I'll be like, why didn't I say this?
You'll be like playing your playlist.
Right? Yeah. But there's really, really many Kenyan artists to look up to. Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys find it weird that I find it as a blessing that there's no Kenyan sound because you can't say there's one Kenyan sound. Do you find it as a blessing that we have Tetu who makes Tetu kind of music, but we also have Iyanah who makes Iyanah music? Like we have so many. Like we don't want Karun to sound like Tiwa Savage. She's Karun. Like so it's like, how do you guys feel about our sound being weird or not? Do we need to get it? Do we need to understand the music? Like I was listening to Quick Fix and Idol and the songs. It doesn't sound like what radio would typically play or like what someone would be like. Oh, that's Kenyan music, but it is Kenyan music. So I guess how do you guys feel about this whole there's no boundaries but there's, I don't know. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do get what you're saying. I think it's the best space for us to be in right now. I think because of the rise of new artists coming in, because of the artists that have been making music and are still making music, I think for there to be this variety in sound and genre is exactly what we need for everybody to feel at home, first of all, but also for everybody to keep on inspiring each other. Like, think about the Renaissance period, and like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, they weren't always doing the same thing. Yes, it was the same foundation, and everyone had the same sciences and math down, but we have literally worlds of art pieces that are different in their own right and beautiful in their own right. Yeah. And so just in the same way, keep bringing on that variety, keep bringing on your touch to music, because we want to see it and we want to learn from it. So yeah, just keep being yourself and keep creating. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that, Matt. I think what I could say about that is we need to change or stop the culture where the fact that there's different kind of styles of music. We need to change this culture of that, like making that a divisive factor or something that we fight over, or making one style of music better than another. They all need to coexist, just as Matt is saying. Everything is beautiful. True. We can't all be the same. I mean, it would be great, but only till a certain point, it would get really boring. Different people have different interests, even in terms of listening, in terms of the kind of entertainment that they want. So the fact that there's many different styles should actually be something that brings us together. Diversity should be something that brings people together.
Okay.
Yeah.
We interviewed Noel Ndorito here one time, and I think about him in the sense of he's an artist. Yep. An amazing artist. He's done like stuff for Coke Studio. Yep. He's made amazing gospel music. But like, I wonder for you, Kendi, for example, like, what about like if you got like, I don't know, go to the Essence Festival and perform, but it's not, I guess like, does that limit you, or do you feel like I guess you make Christian music or you perform Christian music and you're a Christian, but like, how do you decide? How do you make those decisions?
I like to say, when you go to the bank, you don't ask for a Christian accountant.
Exactly.
when you go to the supermarket, you don't ask for a Christian teller. Yeah. And that's just what it is for me. I am a Christian, and that's not something I'm ashamed about. Yeah. And my desire is always to, live a Christ-like life, seek mercy, walk humbly, and walk with your God. Like basically, how do I say this? I love being able to live with people, no matter who they are, no matter what they believe. And that applies to my music as well. Yeah. In so long as I'm not insulting you, not worshipping the devil, and that's personal to me. Like, in so long as being very socially conscious and conscious of putting out what I believe, then that's all that there is for me. Okay. Yeah, because sometimes people make this thing a whole judgment thing. Yeah. We need to get over that. We need to get over it.
I love the record Nyumbani. I guess you said a bit about that, but like, I guess Nyumbani is home and Kenya's our home. What do you say to the person who is out there trying to make music or out there trying to be what they want to be doing, and they're facing the challenges that we all know people are facing? It's like your parents want you to go get a job, you need to make money, it's hard. But then I guess if you persevere, I guess what do you say to that person who's trying to figure it out?
For me, the one thing I always believe in, you need to be excellent at what you're doing, whether it's music or not. You need to put in the time, you need to put in the work, you need to be disciplined. And it also starts with the simple things. Simple things like keeping time, simple things like doing your rehearsal. For me, it's sometimes...
Professional, she said.
Exactly. Yes. So really, sometimes the greatest things and the greatest creations come from simple repetition of the mundane things, right? And then when you've mastered the simple things, then even the difficult things begin to become simple, and it just becomes a part of you. So that's something that I've always believed in. If you're doing something, be the best. And the best because you're competing with who you are yesterday. Because you want to be better than you were yesterday. Don't compete with other people out there. You'll get tired. It will suck. And
preach.
You'll have no peace. You'll really have no peace. Yeah. So strive to want to be better than where you were yesterday. just give it your all. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Iyanah.
Hello.
How are you? How are you?
I'm alright. I'm just getting schooled, you know.
So yesterday, I listened back to your interview, Tatanyaks, from a long time ago. Then I went back and listened to your mom's interview.
Oh my god, I keep forgetting she was here.
Because it's like, oh my god. So it's been a long time. Welcome back.
Thank you. It feels good to be back.
What have you been up to? Where have you been at? So this is the only guy who knows how to follow instructions. Let me tell you what Super Drum does. I want to call him his other name, but I'll call him Super Drum for right now. But he's so polite. So he understands, like, okay, if you have new music, hit us up. We'll reach out. Simple stuff.
Yeah.
So every time he has new releases, like, yo, I got a new release. What do you guys think? Can we set something up? I've literally never said no because I'm like, this guy gets it. It's like, okay, cool. You send an email. You send, it's human beings are difficult to work with. So when you find a human, he's so, like, to the T. Like, even this morning, he's like, yo, where's the pro? Like, I'm like, look at this guy.
Yeah, he's on top of
it's not a YouTube link. It's not like, can you listen? Like, no, it's just like, yo, this is my song. This is the promo. If you have availability, love. Like, but like, for you, your family, like, we got you.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know where you've been at. So it's been a while.
Oh my god, what was I doing? I think I was in school for a while.
Okay.
And then, like, I was performing a lot, like, towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year.
Okay.
So I think that's what I've been busy doing. And then also, like, going to the studio a lot. And, like, because I met Afam this year. And
Okay. How did you meet Afam?
How did we meet?
It was through Tangaza.
Oh my god, yes. Okay. Yeah. So I am part of this compilation album.
The new one. The one that's not even out yet.
It's not
even out yet.
Yeah.
I know.
So we're part of that. And then that's when we went to, like, Super Jump for the first time.
Okay.
And immediately just, like, working with Afam was so much fun. Because I would, like, we'd get there, he'd play a track, we'd write the songs. And he's so much fun as a recording engineer as well. And then we just, like, he was like, you have to come back. Like, now you just have to come back.
Yeah.
And we have to work on stuff. And we've been doing that, like,
No, I have to say, she came through and it was a magical session. I've never had a session like this. Like, she just did it one take and it was perfect. And I was just like, yo. And this was for Tangaza. I was like,
Yeah.
I have to have that for myself. So
Yes.
I hit her up, I sent her beats. I was like, yo, we have to work.
yeah.
And that's just how it happened.
And that's how we have been working together.
How many songs have you guys locked in so far?
So far?
Me and her, like,
Yeah.
we done 2 songs.
Okay.
3 if you count the one we just did recently.
Okay, 3.
Let's say
Okay.
3 so far. Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, it's magical. I love being there. The studio itself is, like,
I hear it's the most beautiful studio in, like,
it is so
I just see
pretty.
picture, like Benzema was there the
It
other
is
day.
so
I'm like,
pretty.
damn.
It's so pretty. It's like has this, like, beautiful, like, garden you look into, and there's this fluffy cat. It's just good vibes. Like, it's
Okay.
so pretty.
Bound was an amazing record. The melodies, the sound, it was so different. I almost had like an Afrobeat sound, but it wasn't too much on the Afrobeat. But a lot of people really gravitated to that. Taiwan's got amazing songs. Like every time we get music, Ojizo, like there's so many dope records they're working on over there. So it was great to hear from you on that one. I know you're also working with Rumbi.
Yes, I work with Rumbi quite a bit.
Yeah, because you guys had a lot of records together.
Yeah, because, okay, I keep saying, like, I owe my music career to him in a way. Because when I was starting out, I was, like, clueless. Because this had been a dream I'd had since I was a child. But I didn't have anyone, like, immediately around me to, like, guide me through it. Because also I grew up in the coast.
Yeah.
And you don't have, like, very many, like, artists you know from the coast unless they're, like big time artists, like they're now in the, like, prime of their career.
Yeah.
So I was clueless, and so I just, like, hit him up on a DM, and I was like, "Hi, you don't know me. I don't even have music out. I'm trying to start out, and I need, like, guidance. If you give me, like, tips and stuff." And he immediately, I remember he, like, responded so quick, which was, like, terrifying to me, because I just assumed, like, oh, he's busy, he has a life, you know, he's making music. And then he was so helpful, sent me tracks, like, connected me with, like, most of the people that I know and, like, roll within the same circles now. And every now and then, whenever he has a track and I'm, like, free to do it, I'm always, like, send it my way. Because I feel like I owe him so much. And, like, yeah. So, Rumbi, if you're listening, thank you.
So, I've heard the first 2 Tangaza compilations. The second one had Shakes McKenna on it. I remember that. And then the first one had Mao and Swami and, like, different cats. I know I've heard Jerry might be on the third one.
Oh yeah.
I know you're gonna be on. I know Mao's gonna be on there. But like, talk about Tangaza. But even just what you love about Tangaza. But then even like the aspect of the magazine. But then also the aspect of like putting out these projects where it's like, we'll really be honest and say like alternative and indie acts don't really get spotlight. But like if you put this like if people get to hear this, like that's a scene. Because you think about Santi or like so many, that's a sound we have here, but like nobody's pushing that. And I feel like Tangaza is really amazing at like the alt scene and what they're doing.
Tangaza is like phenomenal. From like everything from the magazine to like whatever events they put together.
Yes.
I feel like Monica does such a good, like great job with it. Especially because, like, what you said, like, giving the spotlight to, like, acts that you regularly wouldn't get that much coverage. I feel like, because, like, you'd even do events with her and meet so many new people. And, like, it's, like, a networking thing. I feel like it's more the network that's being created more than, like, anything else. I think that's, like, its main impact. Because, like, you meet people that you would never expect to meet in those circles. And they're bringing together, like you said, in these different, like, albums are putting together, and I think it's just like a beautiful feel. It's like some community almost, because now every person you meet from there, it's a new step that you're going to go in your career. Like I've met with more producers since I started, like since they started giving me like the whole music, when music drops and then they're like just giving the coverage to it, there's people who hit you up, and now those are new people you're working with. You go to shows and you're networking with like these, from everyone from like the musicians to like other artists. Cause like I've met so many instrumentalists, producers. I honestly, like I could not even properly put into terms like how grateful I am for them and how like special I think they are. And this album specifically is, I think it's gonna be one of their sickest. Cause like they've gotten like, I think first of all, there's like so many like female
and
artists
I love that
on
part,
it, and I think that's so beautiful because we had like someone like Zoe who is Kenyan, yes, but lives in the US, and now I'd been a fan of hers for like
I didn't even know she was around, like because I it's like an internet person, you know, like they on
exactly like you only see these people on your screen, and then you finally meet them and you're in the studio with them and they sing and you're like blown away because you're like, I don't think I'd be in this room with you right now, like getting to experience this whole thing going on if it wasn't for the fact that like Tangaza reached out to each and every one of these artists, got them on board, got like
it was proper planning because they were planning way ahead. Like this was like June, they were having like calls and reaching out to artists and being like, yo, we should do this, this is the plan,
and they got us so excited as well because like I'd been a fan of like Njeri's music for a while, had never met her, and immediately like we saw like we knew who else was on it. We were like, nah, I want a song out with Njeri, and she was like, yeah, no, I want to work with so and so as well, and it's just been a blessing, honestly.
So something I know you're really big about is performances, and you take your performances really seriously. Talk about performing and like why it's important, because a lot of people don't understand like that's how you actually make money, like that's how you actually like if you don't perform you're not really going to be doing much. You could have a hit if you could have a hit, but if you're not performing every weekend then you're not. So performing, Burna Boy is performing everywhere in the world, like he's collecting a huge bag, like he could be chilling with last on the radio, that's not going to do anything for you, but like you take performances really seriously, you have a whole band, but like explain why you want to work on that craft and why it's important.
Why I want to work on it? I feel like you were saying, like when you're a kid and you're like busy singing into your toothbrush or your hairbrush, like I feel like that in itself like is so fun to do, like as like the whole act of like the imagination behind it, but like when you're actually doing it in front of a crowd, it's so beautiful, like singing and having like seeing the attention of the audience being caught first and foremost, and then like after the show having someone say that they like connected with something that you said or a song that you put out, and it's beautiful. And I think performing for me is just I love people personally. I'm a very like I love just people in general. I'm a people's person, and so recording music and putting it out is fun, don't get me wrong, I love it, but like there's nothing as beautiful as being there just like in front of the crowd and being able to tell the story as well, because like when you're performing you can give the like backstory to the song, how it came about, and that gives even more of a sense of connection, because someone's gonna be like, oh, I've been there, I know what she's talking about, like, or a deeper insight into the song. Because sometimes people just think you're singing about love, and it turns out like the love was just like it was covering up something else, and it's beautiful. And it's funny that you mentioned it because like I was very uncomfortable at first, like when
performing,
because I am a very shy person.
Wait, how are you a shy person, but then also...
Oh, I keep telling you, it's a defense mechanism, guys. I talk a lot because no one is going to expect
She's like, I'm shy. I'm like, there's no way you're shy. Like, look at you.
No one's going to expect that the loudest person in the room is shy, so no one's going to, like, come over and, like, dote over me because I hate when people are like, no, don't be shy. Just, like, deep breaths. I hate that. So I just, like, pretend that I'm this confident. I'm really not. So, like, getting ready, because I used to shake. Like, I'd hold the mic and I would visibly shake. I still do sometimes.
Okay.
Because you guys were, like, doing the hang and we did, like, the Motown show. Mm-hmm. And so we had, like, a few solo moments and I was just like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, give me strength. Like, I don't want them to know that I'm afraid. But it's I think performing is a very special thing for me.
Okay.
I love being able to be there with the people and just like enjoy the song. And sometimes they sing along and sing back, which is always like really sweet.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
So you talk about the Motown. I know that was June as well.
June.
So like, what's like the theme? Like when you do like a themed performance, like what's the difference between like you going and doing your own songs versus like now going into a production? Because it's like literally. It's like going to Broadway, or like you're completely like reinventing the wheel in the sense of like here's a production. We're gonna. It's not like I'm singing what I want to sing, correct?
Yeah, but like I don't know. In a weird way, singing other people's songs can be just as fun when you put like your whole spirit into it, because then it gets to be your version of that song. It's like it's their song, of course, but it's now your version of it. And I was so glad when we did the Motown show because growing up, my dad would play a lot of that around the house. And I keep telling people I love the 70s and the 80s time period, arts-wise and everything related. So that to me, being like asked to do that. And then with June and like Lisa, I was losing my mind. First rehearsal, I was like, oh my God, they're all here. Like they're like
really
in the same
here.
room. I'm really here with them. It was such a blessing and it was so much fun. That was like, I think, for sure the biggest crowd I've performed in front of to date. And that was an experience.
Yes.
No, yet. So I thank June for that. That was truly one of, I think, my best moments of the year. And like I got to sing like Jackson 5 song. Come on, guys. That
check you out.
I was having the time of my life. That was it.
So I want to ask you, what kind of music are you making right now? And like, what space are you in? Are you good? Are you happy? Are you okay? And like, what's the music sounding like? We've only heard one record, but
to therapy session. At the moment, I feel it's very difficult for me to like describe my sound. I think I'm where Matt was like those years back when he was still trying to figure out what his sound was. I mean, you know, I feel like everyone associates me with like R&B because that's where I like came in from. But I openly tell people, please don't limit yourself to like the tracks you want to send me or the music you think we should make, because growing up listening to like a diverse like
you were listening to 70s music, you were listening to 80s music, so
exactly.
It's like
so like I love rock as much as I love soul, as much as I love hip hop, at the moment I'm just like, if I find something that I like, I'm gonna like try and make myself write for it, even if I usually don't write for that genre.
Okay.
But it's like bound. When Taiwan sent me that beat, I had never written like for anything that sounded Afrobeatish,
really?
But it sounded so sick. And I was like, wait, no, let me try this. And he immediately liked it. And then we put that out. And then now I'm just like in that type of experimental.
Okay. You're working with Super Drum right now.
Yeah.
I guess what's working with him like in the sense of because I feel like to make music with someone you kind of have to have a vibe together. But like I guess what would you like about the music he's making or the production?
What do I like about Afam's production is that because I feel like you're just as experimental with his because if this guy played you every single beat that he made, you'd be so like, because he has things that are like bass and drum and bass, and he has things that are like actually R&B is like, I feel like this is when you said you've really gotten into
one of my first R&B
yeah
so it's kind of crazy that
Because I've heard the hip hop, I've heard the drill, I've heard the different sounds. Yeah.
So like it's honestly, I think it's just the like vibe he gives off.
Okay.
He's so chill.
Because he seems so quiet. I can't expect like madness.
No, like okay, the thing
He's on
is-
time. He's sending proper emails. He can communicate. This guy's not new. He's not
No.
human.
This is all a facade. He's
Okay, you're
he's a
you're
different
shy
man.
allegedly. What are you guys on about?
You see, the thing is, we just discovered on the drive here that like he's an Aries and I'm a Libra, and we're like sister signs.
Okay.
So like we've been thinking maybe this Astro stuff
It
does like make sense, because we've just gotten along like from the first day we met, and
Yeah.
it's just been so easy working with him.
That's
and
dope.
I really don't.
Okay.
It's beyond us, honestly.
So y'all have a new record.
Yes, we do.
It's Super Drum featuring yourself. But tell us about Can't Keep It In.
Oh, okay. Can't keep it in. But that was like when we came to the studio for the first time, and he was like playing it on, and he'd played other beats, but for some reason this is the one that like really it was a standout for me, and immediately I just like sat down and started writing. I think from the like space I was in when I was writing it, it was a very reflective kind of moment for me, because my love life was just doing doing things, and I feel like I just needed to like let out that feeling, because it was just confusion is honestly what I can say it was. And
But
it
that's a
made
love
me-
life. Like if you didn't have confusion,
you
would it be a
know,
love life?
Is it really a
No,
love
it's
life
just
if you're not
boring.
confused? You know, that's boring as hell. No one wants that. So like it was, I think the state I was in caused me to reflect on like every single relationship I had been in. And then it just got to the point where I realized I keep a lot of, I'm like such a hypocritical person, because I'm constantly telling people, guys, communication, it's so important. Like you have to communicate, guys. Nothing can be solved without communication. And then I just like sometimes don't do it, because I'm like, but if I tell them this. So I feel like that song was just like letting out everything that I like never got to say.
Did he hear it?
And any of it's not like about one person.
Why are you
It's
evading?
about-
It's a yes or no question. Did he hear
because
it?
it's not about one person. It was just about like the general feeling of needing to like let that stuff out. And then I also felt like, because as we wrote it and we're recording it, I realized a lot of elements of like the 5 stages of grief were in it, the like bargaining, acceptance and stuff. So I was like, it just felt like grieving over a relationship, any relationship, whatever. So
It's not possible to keep it in. Like, what do you recommend?
Yeah.
Keep it in, or
So, like, I can't
what do you
keep it.
recommend?
I say don't keep it in, like let it off your chest, guys. It's never that serious. Don't die with that stress in you. It's so annoying. Like knowing, have you ever like had an argument with someone and then didn't say anything, and then you go shower and then suddenly all those like
The right thing.
comebacks are like in your, that's basically what the song is. But like now it's the end of the relationship and I'm like, damn. Yeah, I probably should have told you this earlier, but
Should have kept it in. Okay.
Yeah.
Curious, are you still school? Is that still on? Are you done? What's the school?
On a break
Okay.
from school for a bit.
Okay.
My mental health was like in the gutter, so I just needed a moment to breathe. But I think I'll be going back in like January next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we expect more music? What can we expect?
Oh my God, yes. For sure more music.
Okay.
I am having so much fun because I took a break from like performing for a bit because I'd been doing it from like January. So like at some point I felt very drained. Like I was enjoying performing for people, but everything just felt I wasn't feeling as passionate about it anymore. And I don't want to, like you said, I feel like it's very important to show up for yourself and make sure you're giving your all as you're, doing what you're doing. So I just took a break from that. So now I'm very much into writing so I can get recording as much more as possible. But yes, there is going to be, I feel like next year there's going to be quite a few.
I feel like I'd love to see more of Iyanah in the sense of, I feel like Iyanah's really smart. Like I want to see more, I want to see more facets of you. Like I feel like you should share more of you with us.
Oh my God.
With the world.
I'm working on it. I feel like a lot of people don't like, I've gone that a lot. Like people just know a facet of me and then like I'm just this.
I know Lazy Baddie. I feel like that's your Twitter handle.
You know, it's so funny that's like
I know
my
Lazy
new
Baddie.
personality. Everyone calls me that. And I was like, it was just a funny Twitter name. I didn't actually think that.
But I take it
anyone would-
seriously and shit.
Yeah, I should maybe like do something with that. That's like a whole.
Keep it.
That's like a whole.
I like it.
franchise. I haven't like started up yet. I'm gonna use that.
Okay.
T-shirts, merch coming soon.
So I want to plug anything I want you to plug anything you have, and then I want us to plug the show, and then I want to let you guys go home. But what do you want to plug, Iyanah? You can give us some knowledge. You can give us some tea. You can anything. You
One man should have all this power. I don't even know what to plug. I choose to plug the hang.
Okay.
Show up tomorrow.
Waterfront Mall.
Waterfront Mall, Karen.
This is not your chance.
So you,
Yeah, come through. Come to the mic so they can hear you. Please plug.
So essentially, like she's part of our program, artist
Okay.
recording program. We release music every month,
Yes.
and so the goal is to work on, different music, different artists, completely different. Like next month we're releasing something with Benzema. It's gonna be completely different
my.
from this. So
So you guys last year you guys were on a roll. Like we had Chevy.
yes,
I know
that was this year.
Anje.
Yes, Andre.
Now Iyanah.
Yes.
So the super tram, the train is back up and rolling.
The train is back up and
Okay.
running. Yeah, so yeah, it's just gonna be different projects. We're actually working on an R&B project that's also gonna be fire.
Nice.
So there's just a lot of like dope stuff that we have lined up. So yeah,
So I have a crazy question for you.
yeah, for sure.
You have an amazing studio.
Yeah.
You're super talented. Who would you want to work with? Like I feel like
Oh,
the problem.
is currently sending like I'm on the current, bro. Like yo, please, and Zini as well, man.
For real?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what that. Have you been in the same room? That she like?
No,
you
I
can make
don't-
this happen.
No, I don't think she knows I exist.
Really?
But
No way.
nah, I'm shooting my shot. Yeah,
Okay.
I want to work with Karun. I think she's really, really like inspirational for me.
Yes, whoever's watching, clip this,
Clip this.
please. I need the video.
Because for sure, like when you're asking about like inspirations, like for me, I look to these guys like Kamula, because they showed us like, it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So since that time, I've always wanted to work with them, and yeah, she's the biggest
Okay.
like name I want to work with at the moment.
We manifest that's gonna happen.
Let's manifest
Yeah.
this. Let's manifest.
That's
this.
dope.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys every month. So it's not every Friday release, but it's an every month release.
Yes, it's an every month release, and
Okay.
we target mostly developing our acts.
Okay.
So I know Benzema is established,
Yeah.
but most of our roster is developing because we're really into artist development and growth. Just want to help smaller artists express themselves. Releasing music is difficult,
Yes,
man.
bro.
Like,
Even like when I first met Brooklyn Boys, they couldn't.
Yeah.
They didn't even upload into distros or even buying
man.
beats, bro. They were rapping
It's
off YouTube beats
difficult.
because it was like, bro, we can't buy these beats. We don't even have a card.
man.
So now you're talking about like I met another guy who's like, yo, can you open for me at DistroKid? I'm like, what do you mean? Like the guy, 1999 to release the song is the guan, like So the challenges that developing artists face are.
No.
Some just want a video. Some just want some studio time. So it's like, if you guys are out there,
But
please.
those are just such small facets. Like it's so complex, from the recording to the mixing, the mastering, then the business side. Like, and we try to handle all that and help developing artists kind of like get a footing. And yeah, that's kind of like our business model.
Nice.
Yeah.
So more Iyanah's coming.
More Iyanah, more Andia,
Yes.
more Jerry, more Zoe.
More Jerry.
More,
Oh shit. Okay.
Listen,
Okay.
Yeah.
So guys, tomorrow's the hang. Give us. Some people don't listen, but when your parents tell you something over and over again, like then you grow up and you're like, shit, my mom was right. I feel like adulting is accepting my parents were right. Like I'm like, okay, they were actually right. But like for those who don't listen, they'll wake up tomorrow morning and be like, yeah. Who's on the lineup? Where is it happening? Where are tickets available?
Poster out.
So yeah.
Yes. So the hang is happening tomorrow, Saturday, the 24th of September, 2022, at the waterfront, Karen, Nairobi County, country Kenya. So the show, the gates open at 6. Do come, get a nice spot, ease yourself in. Show should start at 7. We have so many artists. So, there's Matt, there's myself, there's Angie Gashui, Benjamin Webby, Brandy Minor, Kanan O'Ward, Chep, David Hunter, El Safanjora, Janice Wanjiro, Joy, Jojo, June Gashui, of course, Kevin K1 Minor, Lisa, Manasseh Shalom, Njoki Karu, Noel Nderitu, Ricky Gathariki, Ruby Nina, Sam Warui, Steph Wambura Mitaru. Of course, we have David Hunter, MDing, Ted Mwangi, Toads Kimeto, George Nyoro, Newman, Ivy Alexander, and Amani on the drums. Art in Motion, as you mentioned earlier. DJ Pinye, DJ Adrian. It's going to be a tight show, guys. You can't miss this one.
So I have a friend here on Twitter asking, Kuna Chakula?
Chocolate.
No, it's not me. No. Like someone wants to. Is there enough food? I only want to Ingo, please.
There was food in the 90s and there will be food tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the hang is happening tomorrow. Please go check it out at the Waterfront Mall. There's a new record out. Can't Keep It In. Super Drum featuring Iyanah. They've got new releases every month, so check that out. You're listening to 254 Express. So we're gonna play Nyumbani. And then come back. So thank you guys so much for coming through. And
thank you so much, man.
It's been a pleasure. I wish all of you guys the best with everything you guys are working on.
Likewise.
And keep pushing. All right.